So I'll give you one example of that it is not quite COVID, but it was the Graham Mertz debut game. No one was there to watch it.
That's true. There was
no one was there to watch it.
Today's attendance
it
zero,
but
yes.
You're right. I'm going back to of a full house in this place where people are really cranked, and you come up with a result that surprises you. I go back to the Michigan game in 2019 when they go up 35-0.
That would be it.
I've never imagined that this was possible in my life, that the Badgers could be leading Michigan by this score.
Yep.
But you're going back that far. It's 5 years. It precedes Luke Fickell. Let's be real honest about it. And I think that I have to talk to people a lot about that as not an apologist for what's going on, but to point out that this program hasn't been where we wanted it to be for going on 5 years now, a full cycle of players coming through.
So let's see if the football team can join the men's basketball team last night and the volleyball team from a week ago in getting a statement win at home for the fans in Madison.
Jesse, what do you do? What is your salute to this team if the Badgers somehow pull this out? What are you going to commit to them?
I'll have to brainstorm that for the next hour and 45 minutes as we can say, what is the deal with these Oregon fans that are showing up at this tailgate? This is unbelievable, the amount of green that's
one's my fault.
Well, that's unacceptable. You let this one in here? How about this one standing in line behind us on the corner of Charter and Regent?
That one's not my fault.
There's a whole – look at all this. It's a whole pack of them.
Look at this.
No, boo. Who are these Oregon Duck fans coming in here? This is unreal. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is brought to you in part by Jones Dairy Farm. Whether you're a Wisconsin fan or an Oregon fan, either way, you can appreciate all the great things that Jones Dairy Farm has to offer. Jones Dairy Farm prides themselves on making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. They only use all natural ingredients right here in Fort Atkinson. Do you Oregon fans know where Fort Atkinson is? You guys from around here? You know where Fort Atkinson is? Not a clue. Good. Stay away from our Jones Dairy Farm stuff. That's for us. That's not for you guys to enjoy. Right here in Fort Atkinson. Learn more about Jones Dairy Farm's promise. Visit jonesdairyfarm.com. Jones Dairy Farm, the official breakfast sausage of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. I actually hope the Oregon fans enjoyed some Jones Dairy Farm sausage this morning as they got set to come out and enjoy our tailgate tonight. Just like when the Alabama fans were here. Let's put on a good show for the out-of-towners. Let's just beat them. Let's just beat them and send them home sad.
Right. Share some curds. Share some of our beer that you can't get out there, that type of stuff.
And put on a better performance on the field than we did against Iowa 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz. We continue the countdown to kick off by taking a look closer at the matchup and what, if anything, Wisconsin can actually do to slow down Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel. That's straight ahead on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Black Friday is Cash Friday
at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
On Friday, November 29th, starting at 5 p.m.,
18 winners will each take home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500 in our Cash Friday promotion.
And at 8 p.m., one winner will take home the $40,000 grand prize.
Plus, November 29th is Ho Chunk Day.
And we're celebrating by giving the first 500 guests visiting our Rewards Club booth
$25 in rewards play.
Cash Friday is a holiday tradition at
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Daniels Construction is a proud employee and family-owned business serving South Central Wisconsin for 71 years. Want to join the team at an award-winning, self-performing contractor that's committed to quality and excellence in every project? They offer multi-trade career opportunities with on-the-job paid training and career growth opportunities. Whether you're looking to start a new project or a new career, Daniels Construction is building better futures, people, and communities. Visit daniels-co.com to learn more.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
The fact that we just said that Jordan Love could have Brett Favre's career and we wouldn't be satisfied.
Are people satisfied with Aaron Rodgers' career in Green Bay? You're right, Jason. It's a crazy thing to say, but I have no problem saying it.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by Grassland Dairy, Home and Lindsay Paints, Coors Light, Made to Chill, and American Family Insurance.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, because Truckstar Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts, because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truckstar Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truckstar is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truckstar Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
Barry Alvarez joins the ESPN Wisconsin team.
I won't use a search committee. Most search committees use me.
Nobody covers the Badgers like 100.5 ESPN. Now featuring Wisconsin legend Barry Alvarez.
I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some hallelujahs to the big man in the sky, show up Sunday morning.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light, live at our Regent Street tailgate. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, and a slew of our best friends getting set for the Wisconsin Badgers and the number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks tonight at Camp Randall Stadium. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day on ESPN Wisconsin is brought to you in part by Canopy Wealth Management. Canopy Wealth Management carries a long-standing tradition of working in the best interest of their clients every single day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believe that values matter and strengthen the community. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. The Wisconsin Badgers currently listed as 14-point underdogs, according to ESPN Bet, as we get set for the Badgers hosting the number 1 ranked team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, tonight. Adam Mertz, Dylan Gabriel is currently listed as the 3rd best odds on ESPN Bet to win the Heisman Trophy this year, only behind Travis Hunter of Colorado and running back Ashton Genty of Boise State. What, if anything, can the Wisconsin defense do tonight to try and slow down Dylan Gabriel?
I think the number one – I'll tell you what. The number one thing I'm concerned about from having the Badgers shown their inability to contain guys that make plays with their legs is just that, about Dylan Gabriel's ability to keep plays alive, get out of the pocket when under pressure. He's not a guy who's like an ultra-dynamic runner, but he is one that will take advantage if a play breaks down and be able to get into the open field. And Wisconsin historically has had a difficult time with that, and that's certainly been the case this year. Unfortunately, we saw that a lot in Iowa City.
We'll talk more about that matchup as we continue on. It is our pleasure now to be joined by the host of Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekday afternoons from 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN Madison, among other shows that he hosts on ESPN Madison, Jim Rutledge. Good evening, Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys? It's a night for an upset, right?
Maybe. Well, this is
Sell it.
This is your weekend of upsets because you're going to the Bears game. You're
Right.
the noted Bears fan of ESPN Wisconsin. You'll be at Soldier Field tomorrow.
Yep.
Quick turnaround for you. Which one would you give a better chance? I saw you guys were asking this question the other day. Will you be more happy leaving Soldier Field tomorrow or more happy leaving Camp Randall Stadium tonight?
I would say I'd have a better chance tomorrow. And it mainly comes down to the Chicago Bears, their professional football team. And so, like, these guys are paid. They have pride. Tao should lean on this.
Whoa. Those Badgers are paid now. I've seen what's going on.
It's still different. I mean, when you're a professional, you're an adult, you have pride, you're trying to play for another team, even if it's not for your team, you got to put good stuff on tape. They also have the dead cat bounce of firing your offensive coordinator, bringing in former Badger running backs coach Thomas Brown, who was here for a year, who I talked to some former Badgers, said that guy gets it. Like, the team's going to rally around him. I've been play calling, all that stuff's different, but that team had checked out. But the thing is, the Bears, in college football, there's a talent disparity that doesn't exist in the NFL. Like, the Bears and Packers, talent-wise, are there. The Bears could piece together some game. The Badgers are far away from the Ducks, and that's the part where you are looking to pull off a massive upset, and that means the Ducks have to be involved in it, which means they don't show up. They don't think they have to try. They're not locked in. They didn't pay attention during the week. And a large part of it is Braden Locke. I have no faith at all that Braden Locke is going to put together a turnover-free game. And that's what you need at a minimum from him. So am I going to go in with hope? Sure. But it's kind of guarded hope.
One of the things that Mertz and I were talking about in our opening segment of the show is what would a win actually mean tonight? Because all season long, I've been one of the advocates that get a signature win this year is one of the biggest check marks for Luke Fickell to get leading this program for where it can go moving forward. Even with a win tonight, will that change anyone's mind on Phil Longo's offense or Luke Fickell's ability to lead the program where it wants to get to? I'm not sure it will, and that's not fair to them because if this win took place in October, I might feel differently. What do you think on that?
I think it would change the feelings about Fickell. The offense, probably not. But I think Fickell as a coach, you pull off a win like this, everyone here wants to buy in. Everyone here wants to be a Badgers fan and wants this program to succeed. Now, this offense would have to turn it on the last few games for people to believe in the offense. It feels like this offense is on its way out, at least Phil Longo. Maybe it's something we've talked about before of it's a spread instead of the air raid. I mean, and that could be a slight difference. That could help the Badgers in the future, and Phil Longo runs more of an air raid. The air raid might not be long for Wisconsin, but Luke Fickell winning this game, let's just look at the Badgers. Badger basketball yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody believes in this team. The team had garbage performances all the way up until they played Arizona. I mean, they were playing bad teams and letting them hang around. They lost all of their talent, and yet last night they pulled off the victory. So for Badger football, and now everyone's in on Badger basketball. I'm getting texts. Everyone's asking, who's this guy? Who's Tanjay? What's going on?
Right.
And that's what will happen with football. Times 10. Because people still only care about basketball so much. Football, you win, you're bowl eligible. And then you have a signature win. 2 big check marks checked. And when you lose your starting quarterback early in the year, 2 years in a row, it does give your head coach, I think, some grace from fans. Because now this team can carry it forward. This win should not be in a silo. If you win this, you are going to most likely beat either Nebraska and Minnesota or at least win one of those, and now you're in position to go win more games than you won last year.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, joined by Jim Rutledge, host of Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekday afternoons 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube
Jim,
channel.
Question for you, because you brought this up and kind of got into the Longo state of things and about how Fickell maybe can't be judged because he lost starting quarterback both years.
Yep.
Tell me what your analysis is of Phil Longo's offense that doesn't give him that same kind of latitude in your estimation of how things have gone.
Well, so the quarterback thing comes from Joe Thomas, where Joe Thomas said when you're running this offense, and he joined a Jump Around that's on YouTube, Jump Around, it's 12:30 digital show that I host, and Joe Thomas joined the show, and he talked about how if you're going to run this offense, he had no problem if his son grew up to be an offensive lineman. He said, I'd send my son to Wisconsin, no problem. Running back too. It's just in this offense, the quarterback is the thing that makes the whole thing go. And if you don't have the quarterback, it's broken. And so that's where the biggest issue comes. And it's been – the offense has looked semi-functional with Mordecai. Van Dyke was too early, and you didn't even know what they're really trying to run those first couple of games. So, that's really hard to figure out what that offense would have been. But when Mordecai was in, they moved the ball against LSU. They showed flashes. The thing that works against Longo is that someone's probably going to have to pay the piper at the end of the year. Let's say the Badgers win one more game. which is maybe the most realistic outcome here. They win one game, they get bowl eligible. Maybe they win the bowl, maybe they don't. But let's say that's the most likely outcome. Someone's going to have to be the sacrificial lamb, and I think Phil Longo would be the guy. Now, is that 100% fair? Absolutely not, and the quarterbacks would be a big part of it. But I think when Fickell came in here, the defense is honestly the same. I think there was an article in The Athletic that they run almost the exact same formations as Jim Leonard did his last year here. So, people getting in their feels about the defense, that just means they don't have the players. But when you talk about the offense is where, Luke Fickell came in and took a big swing because people were immediately terrified of this offense. And it's not working at all. And so that's the one where I feel like Longo would be the first to go. And it could be even a guy on their staff. They have Kenny Guyton, who was a quarterback at Ohio State, with Luke Fickell, who called some plays. I forget where he was last year, but the OC got fired last year, and he finished the year calling some plays where he was last year. The Badgers brought him on, and I think he is someone that could run maybe a more modified offense. Now, the flip side is we're Wisconsin, and maybe you bring in a bigger-name coach. The other thing I think could be on the table that a lot of fans have floated is, I believe Jim Harbaugh did this at Michigan, is where maybe Luke Fickell says, I'll take a little bit less. Let's bring in a bigger-name coach. I don't know if he has to do that if they're paying Phil Longo $1 million. I don't know how much more you pay an offensive coordinator, but if there's a bigger-name, more established offensive coordinator that can run a spread-type offense and Luke Fickell has to give up a $500,000 per year to bring this guy in, I do think that's on the table, too.
It's a Chip Kelly-style move.
Yes.
That you're getting into.
Just for perspective, when Jim's alluding to Kenny Guyton last year, that was at Arkansas.
Okay, there you go, yeah.
So it wasn't at some cupcake school that he did this.
Right.
This was the big dogs in the SEC where he stepped in and found some success last year. And we see what Arkansas is doing now this season. They beat Tennessee a few weeks ago. So
I mean, there are options on this team. I could see the Badgers make a tweak, and I could see Longo be a guy that goes, but they're going to have to bring in a name because he's the guy that's bringing in Matoyer and these other quarterbacks, these 5-star kids or 4-star kids that Wisconsin doesn't normally get a look at. This offense is what brings them in.
Yeah.
And so they have to find that balance, and Longo's good at that. But I think there's a case to be made that the air raid maybe is too much for here, and maybe it's just more of a spread. And it's a slight difference, but I think the spread offense could work better.
And that's, I was curious that you said that too, because I think the people that are longing for this return to the days of ground and pound, that's not going to happen.
No.
There's a lot of dissatisfaction with the whole philosophical approach, and I'm more in the camp of especially since you brought in those kind of athletes, you're not going to radically change things at this point. It'll be a little bit of personnel tweaks. I think that play calling will be something that you can talk about.
Yes.
What Phil Longo's done and what he's missed on over the course of this last 2 years. I think that's my number one concern. More than scheme, more than anything else, it's just developing a flow and a consistency to this offense.
I look at it like this, and you can look at two Big Ten teams. Michigan, they're trying to run that. Michigan runs that pro-style offense.
Right.
That means you have to have the best players. Yeah. And Wisconsin's not going to get the best players. Michigan, you can't run Michigan's offense. You don't have the players for it. The spread offense is an offense that is run by a lot of teams that maybe can't match all the talent. But it's also run by a team like Ohio State. I remember reading an article a couple years ago, and even let's look at Justin Fields. They talked about him and all these quarterbacks at Ohio State. It is look deep and then dump it off. It's very quick. Hey, let's gun it. If we got the big play, go take it. But also we have some safety routes. It's very simple for the quarterback. That's why they come in and they play right away as true freshmen. It's either deep or short. And that's it. It's very layered. But then it's a power run game. They run that power, the Ohio State sweep. They run the power sweep. They run power. They use the fullback or they use motion, things that Paul Chris used to run here. So I think you can balance spreading out, using these weapons and receivers, but also have that power run game that Wisconsin had in the past. But Ohio State runs it. There's plenty of teams. Notre Dame, there's teams that run more of a spread out of the shotgun type offense that makes life easy for the quarterback and the players, but also runs an offense that can work here at Wisconsin. So I think you can run a spread and run a power run game.
Jimmy, going to the game tonight?
I am going to the game, yes. So.
Are you going to leave early if it gets out of hand?
Probably.
You're going to Chicago tomorrow.
Yes. Probably, yes.
Let's set realistic expectations.
I'll get through halftime at least. I'd like to get to the jump around, but if it's gross, I'll get out early. Yeah.
So is the expectation more that this is going to get gross or that Wisconsin's going to hang around and make this interesting tonight?
I think it's going to get really ugly. I hope I'm wrong. Ooh. The only thing I think is in their favor is how bad Iowa was, how bad that game was. And I mean, and then they have the bye week to lament on it. So, like, that's what's in their favor, is that game, that awful game, that's the game I think Badger fans are upset about. The other one's, okay, yeah, Penn State, you're in it, USC, you're in it, Bama, but, like, okay, those are, I mean, Ohio State was, or excuse me, USC was a top 10 team when they played them. So all your losses before Iowa were against top 10 teams, and still right now all your losses against top 25 teams. I mean, the Badgers can change the narrative for this team if they go out and lose tonight, like they lost to Ohio State last year, and then beat Nebraska and beat Minnesota. You're going to feel better about this team.
For sure.
Because then it's like, all right, we won the games we would have been picked to win at the start of the year. We lost one coin flip one in Iowa. And now we won more games in the regular season than we did all of last year. And let's see what happens in the bowl game.
Yeah, it's funny. We find ourselves in the same spot almost exactly as a year ago of needing to beat Nebraska and Minnesota to get above 500.
And honestly, the year before that, too, when Jim Leonard stepped in as the interim head
Yes.
coach. 3 years
Remember
in a row.
The great Jim Leonard who beat Nebraska by 1 point. I would like to point out that
I sense a little underlying sentiment there, Jim.
I just think people need to understand that this program was not going to be drastically different under Jim Leonard. That's my main point.
Jim, you want to tell everyone about Carbon World Health while we have you?
Yeah, absolutely. Carbon World Health is someone I'm going to go see on Monday because I'm going to have a heck of a weekend. And I need to get back at it and get working out there. So it's a good way to get working out and kind of get your week started right, work out there a few times. They have that going on there. They also have semaglutide, game-changing, FDA-approved weight loss treatment that can help you reach your weight loss goals. That's also available at Carbon World Health. But you know what I might do on Monday? They also have the IV. And the IV, being able to go in there after this weekend and get right back up to my replenished levels of electrolytes and hydration, that might be the play for Monday. You can do that anytime at Carbon World Health.
If you were ever going to do it, it feels like this might be the Monday to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if the Bears win. I'll tell you that for sure.
Good luck with that game and with this one tonight. Jim Rutledge, host of Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekday afternoons 4 to 6 on ESPN Madison. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day rolls on. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, and all of our friends with Coors Light in hand as we count down to kickoff for number 1 Oregon and Wisconsin. Straight ahead on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
ESPN Madison is your new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
That's a statement win for Wisconsin.
Every single night, 7,000 plus, and they are in your face.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title. Catch every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Wisconsin's where it's at.
Let's go see how high we can go.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Coors Light, Ridgetop Exteriors, Goodman's Jewelers, Carbon World Health, and North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Everybody's buzzing about Quick Trip's possibly pilfered potatoes. We have them priced so low, some say they're illegal. Swipe potato fries? Potatoes ill-gotten? Stash browns? Come on, these are not hot potatoes. But it is a quick hot savings. You might say it's a steal. No, don't say that. 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. 5 pounds of potatoes under $1? What a heist. A perfect score for those large meal gatherings. Quick Trip. We got your taters covered.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
From LA to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. We start with the team from LA, UCLA. They went on the road Friday night to Washington, and they fell 31-19. The Washington Huskies are now bowl eligible, sitting at 6-5 on the year. Some other games in the Big Ten that have gone final today. Number 2, Ohio State. Looked like it was going to be scary early on as it was tied 0-0 after one quarter at Northwestern, but then Ohio State turned it on, winning 31-7 at Wrigley Field. Then in Champaign, Brett Bielema's Fighting Illini took down Michigan State 38-16. Illinois is now 7-3 on the year. 3 games currently going on in the Big Ten. Number 4, Penn State is on the road at West Lafayette, and it is 41-3. The Nittany Lions are up on Purdue. Tyler Warren, he's got 2 touchdowns, closing in on 200 total yards for a tight end. And then out in L.A., Nebraska's on the road at USC. They're tied up at 14 apiece with 12:59 to go in the third. And Rutgers and Maryland are scoreless. And then, of course, the Badgers host Oregon at 6:30.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light on the corner of Charter and Regent in downtown Madison, where the party is bumping as we get set for the number 1 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, visiting the Wisconsin Badgers. Final opportunity this season for a signature victory over a marquee opponent for head coach Luke Fickell and the Wisconsin Badgers. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day coming your way until kickoff at 6:30 here tonight on ESPN Wisconsin. All right, Mertz, we were talking about Dylan Gabriel before Jim Rutledge joined us last segment. Thanks to Jim again for stopping by the booth here on our Regent Street tailgate. So Dylan Gabriel, 2,848 total passing yards this year already, closing in on 3,000. 22 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions. It's a far cry from the 8-8 that Braden Locke has since he took over as the starter for the USC game. How do the Badgers contain Dylan Gabriel? What does this defense do to try and slow down the Oregon offense that for more than a decade has been one of the marquee offenses in the country?
I know, and it's I think it's 9 straight games now. They've scored 30 or more points.
That's against some good defensive teams.
Against some very good defensive teams. 32 against Ohio State earlier this year, if you want to draw that one out. Dylan Gabriel is just an interesting guy to watch. Earlier in the year, I was paying a lot of attention to Oregon football, and he's one of these guys, he doesn't have like a huge arm. He's not going to overly impress you that way. He is so accurate. He is so unbelievably accurate. He has a great pocket presence. He doesn't get rattled very easily. He seems to be able to make a lot of the throws on the field. The one area where I'm like, I don't know about his deep ball all the time, but everything else underneath is pretty impressive. This goes right into the teeth of what Badger football is good at this year on the defensive side, which is that secondary, and especially a Ricardo Hallman out there who hasn't been threatened very much this year. So you kind of like that aspect of it, but it just seems like between Dylan's patience and the offensive line has been doing a great job blocking for him, that they're able to buy enough time to get those athletes open in space. And that's my number one concern is guys running after an initial read and getting some space, and Dylan being able to improvise for you tonight.
What do you make of comments that Barry Alvarez, our newest ESPN Wisconsin teammate, we'll have to get him out here at the corner of Charter and Region at some point, coming up for a tailgate.
Be incredible.
Barry Alvarez earlier this week appearing on the Great Dane Huddle, on Kyle Brust and Nortman, and on the Jump Around, our weekly digital show on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, talking all things Wisconsin Badgers. He talked about having a sense of confidence, and Barry's one of his longtime things is always find your edge, find the advantage that you can preach to the team all week long. If you were head coach Luke Fickell following that advice, what is the advantage that Wisconsin can coach up and say, let's play to this for the game against the Oregon Ducks?
And we're stepping away from just the Dylan Gabriel show at this point, you're saying.
I'm saying if you're Wisconsin, find an edge no matter what.
I mean,
what is it?
I feel like you have to get back and see if you can establish the run game early in this game. Obvious reason is just controlling the clock as much as anything. And also your lack of overall confidence in what Braden Locke can do for you. You do not want to put the game in his hands tonight. And Oregon's defense has been pretty stout this year. It's been a different kind of Oregon defense against the run. So I don't think that this is necessarily, the greatest solution, but it might be the best solution for them out there. If you can get Tyree Walker reestablished and get some flow and move the chains, and I did hear Coach Alvarez talking about that, but just the Badgers' ability to move the chains offensively, that's part of keeping Oregon out of flow and keeping the ball out of Dylan Gabriel's hands. And I think also you can just build a little bit of momentum and confidence for this team that got beaten down so badly 2 weeks ago.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light on ESPN Wisconsin and on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Jesse Nelson along with Adam Mertz on Regent Street as we get set for Wisconsin and number 1 Oregon tonight at Camp Randall Stadium. Save money and save the planet. Ditch the energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar, your local solar energy company based in Madison. Visit everlightsolar.com to learn more and make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. We're going to have to find a third. It's like when you go golfing and you got 3, we need to find a fourth. We need to find a third to play Two Truths and a Lie coming up. Usually we have Brad Nortman here with us.
I know.
He's handling post-game duties tonight in the Milwaukee studio. So we need to find a third for us to play Two Truths and a Lie plus a contestant, which I think you have one in mind that we're going to find here pretty soon. So we will play our favorite ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day game coming up next. Two Truths and a Lie. Don't go anywhere. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, counting down to Wisconsin and number 1 Oregon at Camp Randall Stadium. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
What is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea?
Why do you keep saying it like that?
Mediterranean, because that's how I say Mediterranean. How are you supposed to say it?
Mediterranean.
I say Mediterranean. I say Mediterranean. I skip a whole bunch of stuff.
He changes the T's to D's.
Mediterranean. That's how I say it.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Saving lives, one mammogram at a time. That's what we do at Stoughton Health. All women 40 and older should schedule their annual mammogram. Stoughton Health uses 3D technology for better, earlier breast cancer detection. All mammogram appointments from October through November will receive a coupon for a discounted manicure at participating local salons. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan and Quartz. Appointments are just 2 to 3 weeks out. Call 608-873-2299. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Black Friday is Cash Friday at Ho Chunk Game in Madison. On Friday, November 29th, starting at 5 p.m., 18 winners will each take home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500 in our Cash Friday promotion. And at 8 p.m., one winner will take home the $40,000 grand prize. Plus, November 29th is Ho Chunk Day. And we're celebrating by giving the first 500 guests visiting our Rewards Club booth $25 in rewards play. Cash Friday is a holiday tradition at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Can keep my hands on myself.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. 100.5 ESPN Madison, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, the ESPN app, Wisconsin On Demand, and live video streaming on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Jesse Nelson along with Adam Mertz on Regent Street at the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day tailgate as we continue to count down to kickoff for the Wisconsin Badgers and the number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks. For a more in-depth preview, the most in-depth preview we give you of the opponent each and every week on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, it's time to fire up our favorite game. Time to play Two Truths and a Lie.
Who's telling the truth?
You can't handle the truth.
And who is a dirty, rotten, no-good liar?
You calling me a liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
Two Truths and a Lie on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment, the premier entertainment and event services company in southern Wisconsin.
To play Two Truths and a Lie, presented by Celebrations Entertainment, we welcome in a very special guest. It's Uncle Jake.
Hey, good to be here.
But Adam Mertz's Uncle Jake is with us, which is great news, except he's wearing an Oregon jersey.
Go Ducks, go Ducks, go Ducks.
What are you doing, Uncle Jake? Why are you wearing an Oregon jersey? What's the deal?
I'm an Oregon alumni. I've got sisters here in Wisconsin. We are a split family tonight. So my wife and I came over to join the family from Oregon with the family from Wisconsin and watch a good game.
You let this guy into the tailgate, Mertz?
How about that, right?
You knew he was going to be wearing green and gold tonight, not the good kind, and you said, come on in anyway?
I know. I let in a bunch of infiltrators here.
Yep, we snuck in.
At least you have allegiance to Oregon by saying, like, at least you have that. It's not like we've had Alabama fans who walk in, I just like Alabama.
Right.
Like, what's the deal? Okay, so.
He's not a bandwagon guy. He was there for a lot of bad Oregon football, right?
Well, yeah. We had
But you've been there for a lot of good Oregon football.
been there for a lot of good ones. Yes.
So let's see how well you know your Oregon Ducks, Uncle Jake, as we play Two Truths and a Lie. The way the game is played, I, Mertz, and Hunter Vaughn, our producer back in the Everlight Solar Studio, you'll hear like the voice of God coming through your headset here from the great beyond. We will offer up each one statement about the Oregon football program, and you need to determine which of us is the liar who's telling mistruths about the Oregon program. Two of us are telling the truth. One of us is telling a lie. We'll find out who it is. So, Adam Mertz, why don't you go ahead and lie to Uncle Jake right off the top here?
Yeah, well, that's for him to judge and me to know. So we do have – this one is actually a great one. This ties into our family history a little bit. So my Uncle Jake's grandfather was a starting center on the 1916 Oregon Ducks, Webfoot's.
Wow.
In that age, that won the Rose Bowl that year. So they also won the Pacific Coast Conference title. Here is your clue about other conference titles that the Ducks have won. Dating back to 1895, Oregon has won 14 conference titles. That is our first statement for you to ponder.
Okay. All right. I'm going to think about that one.
And when you said it tied into our family, I thought you were going to say dating back to when Uncle Jake was born in 1895.
Oh! That was the first Uncle Jake. I'm the fourth.
Okay, understood. Here is clue number 2, Uncle Jake. Bo Nix, Marcus Mariota, Justin Herbert, and Joey Harrington all won the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year award. That is statement number 2 about long, great lineage of Oregon quarterbacks over the last couple of decades.
Harrington and Mariota, Nix, and
Herbert.
Yep,
all
Justin
of them
Herbert.
won Conference Offensive Player of the Year. All right, Hunter Vaughn is our producer back in the studio. Hunter, you have statement number 3 for Uncle Jake.
The Oregon Ducks have lost their last 3 consecutive games against rival Washington.
Oh, boy.
That's a stinger.
Oh, he's getting help from the Oregon contingency here at the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day tailgate. They are saying that number 3 is true. If they want, this is like Price is Right, where the crrowd is trying to tell you what to bid on.
Like reaching out for can I call a friend?
Well, so
can I call my son?
If this is your son,
that is my son.
So he's saying pick statement number 2. It looks like he's putting up the 2 finger. This guy's also saying he's put up 2 antidote. I am getting really tired of all these Oregon fans trying to help you out. What are you going with? Uncle
So
Jake?
I'm going with who is telling the truth on this.
So you're going to say who? No, you want to identify the liar.
The liar.
So they're saying pick number 2 is what your son is saying.
Oh, yeah.
Which was me. I've rarely called a liar in these parts. So I take a great offense to this.
So we know number 3 is true.
That's what your son is saying.
Yeah.
I'm not
and
saying
I believe
that at
him.
all.
I know.
Well, I don't know your son. Is he a trustworthy fella?
Most of the time. Yeah. If he lies, it's for a good reason.
It's not the most ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. So number 2 was tell me that one
That
again.
was my question. I will repeat it for you. Bo Nix, Marcus Mariota, Justin Herbert, and Joey Harrington
all won the
Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year award.
Okay, and Adam?
Mine was since 1895, Oregon has won 14 conference titles.
14 conference titles.
I feel like you've been mulling your options for this since 1895.
Man. I'm going to say that my uncle is a liar.
You think
I don't think they won 14.
Adam Mertz is a liar. After all this, he invites you to this tailgate. He brings you up here onto our stage. He puts the headset on, helps you get
got me some food.
And now you're going to use your opportunity to call him a liar? Hunter, is he right?
Nope.
Oh, that's what I get for dissing my nephew,
All
right?
that, and Uncle Jake calls Adam Mertz a liar, and he was wrong about it.
Oh,
That's
man.
awful. Would you like to guess again?
Yeah, I'm going with 2.
That would have been a good guess.
That is correct.
Now,
Thanks,
okay,
Hunter.
Let's play one more game here since there's so many Oregon fans who are enjoying this game.
Oh, okay.
Of those 4 players, one of them was not the Offensive Player of the Year. They say Bo Nix. That's wrong, by the way. Bo Nix was Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year last year.
Okay, so we had Harrington, we had
Joey Harrington, Marcus Mariota, Justin Herbert. Which of them was not Offensive Player of the Year?
I'm
in the
going
Pac-12?
Herbert.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Correct.
Nice
rebound, Uncle Jake.
Was not
Nice rebound.
the Offensive Player of the Year. Uncle Jake, your official prediction for Wisconsin and Oregon is you're decked out in your Ducks merch here.
Oh my gosh! You know, after if Oregon plays better than they played last weekend, I think we're going to have something around 35-14.
35-14, says
Ducks.
Uncle Jake. You know, I don't think you're that far off, Uncle Jake. You might have been far off with the questions we were asking for the game, 2 truths and a lie, but I think you might be pretty spot on with that assessment of how this game goes tonight. Hey, Uncle Jake, pleasure to meet you, man.
Jesse, thank you.
Now, there's one more fun fact I wanted to learn from you here on ESPN
Yes.
Wisconsin College Game. You said you were from Milwaukee.
I grew up and born in Milwaukee, Oregon, and went to high school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
There's a Milwaukee, Oregon.
There is. Yep. Our great-great-grandfather has a donation land claim there from the 1800s.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you know this?
I did. I think, and the interesting distinction is that Milwaukee, Oregon is IE on the end of it instead of EE. So you can tell the difference.
That's like when people spell my name with an I. It's not Jesse with an I. It's a very different name. It's Milwaukee with an I. That's, well, a second I suppose. All right, Uncle Jake, hey, have fun tonight.
I will.
Thank you for being part of the show. We really do appreciate you hopping up here.
All right. Well, thank you. This is great.
Uncle Jake playing 2 truths and a lie, and he lost.
Thanks,
so maybe that's a good omen for our Badgers tonight against his Oregon Ducks. Jesse Nelson and Adam Mertz, the nephew of Uncle Jake, on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Continuing, that was 2 truths and a lie, brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment. Planning events has never been easier thanks to Celebrations Entertainment. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events, just like ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We continue to the countdown to kick off Wisconsin and the number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks. Next, it's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
November savings are happening right now at Metro Ford of Madison. With 223 new vehicles available for purchase, qualified buyers can get 90 days deferred payments. The 2024 Ford Explorer is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $15.54 per thousand borrowed. The 2024 Ford Mach-E is available with 0% APR financing for 72 months. Make sure you hurry in to Metro Ford of Madison today.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Imagine a place where all of your fitness needs are under one roof. Sarah Tauscher here. The Prairie Athletic Club has everything you need, from group fitness, personal training, CrossFit, and so much more. Join now and you can save $30 per month for your first 6 months. And on top of that, enjoy 3 months of hot yoga for free. Kickstart your healthiest lifestyle all in one place at the Pack. Stop by today or visit prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
Celebrate Wisconsin hospitality at a Buck & Honey's location near you. You can give your friends or loved ones a memorable experience with a Buck & Honey's gift card. Or treat yourself. For every $100 in gift cards purchased, you'll get $20 back to use at Buck & Honey's in Sun Prairie, Monona, Waunakee, or the new location in Mount Horeb. Oh, don't forget to make yourself reservations for the holidays. Offer availability between November 15th and December 31st. Locally owned and operated. We'll see you at Buck & Honey's.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Monday nights this football season, huddle up for the Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia.
One thing you can't do is what you just said. Hope that we can hang with them, hope that we can play them. You know, that's not the attitude that you want. That's not the attitude that you're trying to send across your players. See, that said, is, you know, my antenna's up. You're hoping. Those guys got to go in knowing. That's key.
The Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia. Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
Open up the history books. Here comes Rondell.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is.
Gordon again. What a performance by Melvin Gordon.
And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers. Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base, the best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
So live it up right here, right now. Till the sun comes up and the lights go out. So live it up right here, right now.
Fired up for number one coming to Camp Randall Stadium under the lights tonight. Third straight game Wisconsin plays in prime time, and a chance tonight to shock the country. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light, live from Regent Street at the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day tailgate. Jesse Nelson along with Adam Mertz as we continue to count down to Wisconsin and Oregon at Camp Randall Stadium. The Badgers are not expected to win this game tonight, Adam Mertz, and I don't think, speaking to most Badgers fans throughout the course of this week, anyone expects Wisconsin to have a chance to compete in this game tonight. But maybe that's exactly what the doctor ordered for a team to pull off a monumental upset. You know, I think we look at Badger teams over the last decade plus, and there's always been the feeling of no matter what the situation is, Wisconsin runs the football and plays tough physical defense, and that can keep you in any game. And this year, we had a good feeling going into the Alabama game. Well, some of us had a good feeling going into the Alabama. Some of us had a good feeling going into the USC game. Some of us had a good feeling going into the Penn State game. Those didn't work out. So maybe it's a good thing that we feel like there's absolutely no shot tonight, because that sets it up perfectly, because maybe Oregon feels that same way. Am I selling you on it?
We're trying pretty hard, aren't we?
I am.
I get it. No, because the thing that sticks in my mind at this point, and that I've thought a lot about, is just the fact that Oregon's on their 8th straight week right now. They've got a bye next week. They're at the end of a long stretch of tough games. All they have left after this is arch rival Washington. So, the finish line is in sight for them to get through with a perfect season. They've got Tez is out this week, number one receiver. And last week, Dylan Gabriel struggled a little bit in terms of comfort in the offense. That guy is an incredible safety valve, and he ended up not being as comfortable. His final numbers are fantastic in terms of production and efficiency, but they weren't able to kind of get that same rhythm and press the field a little bit. They got a beat-up running back, a beat-up top linebacker. So, the wear and tear of the season is there on them a little bit. You're coming in against a Badgers team that, has nothing to lose. Did they have nothing to lose in these other games? Yes. And so I don't buy into that necessarily. But at least you have a team that is coming off a bye week that had a chance to regroup after that really humiliating loss in Iowa. And this is their chance to show some pride here these last 3 weeks. I think they need to come out of these 3 weeks with 2 wins to make this a season that is something more than just mildly acceptable. So if you can somehow pull this one off tonight and set yourself up for a nice finish to the season, changes everything in terms of the dynamic.
I think that's the best argument I've heard so far in order to get a little extra hype for this game tonight. Is not that, okay, this is going to be a program-altering victory, but this could be a win that suddenly changes how we view this season when we look back on it in February and March and looking ahead to next season. So let's see what ends up being the case tonight. If Wisconsin does have a chance to try and pull off a monumental victory, that could be what sets the stage for the years to come. I don't think this is a win that's going to send the trajectory of the program entirely forward. I just don't think it's going to be, or I think it could be a win that sets Wisconsin up for a solid finish to the season and can help you feel better about where things stand as you get ready for what's to come in year 3 of Luke Fickell.
If we're gonna get away from the win as an outcome, let's just say that that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What would encourage me is to not have the kind of second half fades that they've had. And I attribute a lot of that. There's been a lot of talk when I saw this stat thrown out there. It was about, no coaching adjustments in the second half in terms of their second half woes against some of these big teams. That's not how I've seen it. I've seen a team that just doesn't have the talent to stack up, and that 60 minutes is a long time to play football, and that usually results in the best team winning, given some unusual circumstances. But when you look at the stats again, it was Alabama 21-7 in the second half, USC 28-0, Penn State 21-3, Iowa 28-7. That's the kind of stuff that sits poorly with you out of these games. Otherwise, you're feeling pretty good about the effort that they had against a Penn State, and even most of the first half against an Alabama, the whole first half against USC. If this team can maybe muster a little bit more and make this truly a contested game deep, it's not a win. But I think that is a big step forward.
Well, let's go one step further then, Mertz, because obviously, try to avoid the second half fade. Okay, great. Luke Fickell could say that in the locker room. I could say that to the team right now.
Yeah.
How do you avoid a second half fade? What different technique can the team approach the game with if let's say this is a 21-14 game in the third quarter this evening, and it could be.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's held their own in the first halves of some of these games. If it's 21-14 in the third quarter, how do you avoid this thing getting to be 49-24 by the end?
I mean, it comes back to me to ball control, as we talked about in the first hour, of just getting a running game going that you can trust in and rely on, because that is what's going to keep this team moving the sticks and keep the ball out of Dylan Gabriel's hands in this potent Oregon offense. And I know that sounds basic, but we saw it early on against Alabama that this offensive line was having some real success moving around an SEC, a dominant SEC defensive line. You saw it at different points of the season where this is not kind of the golden era offensive line, but these guys are pretty good, and they're pretty good individually, and they played well as a group at times. So it's there for the taking, and Oregon's been pretty stout, as our producer Hunter mentioned off air in between breaks, that Aston Genty from Boise State kind of tore them up. He's the one exception. He's pretty incredible.
Oregon's closest game this year, besides the 1-point win against Ohio State, which everybody in the country watched, it was a massive game, was the Boise State game in week 2, 37-34. They needed a last-second field goal and a comeback in the fourth quarter to beat the Broncos. It was an incredible game. I watched a lot of that one that night.
And
I like Boise State
touchdowns.
A kick return was a big play in that game late that helped Oregon get back in it, quite frankly, because Boise State was really taking it to them for quite a bit of that game. All the other games have been a similar blueprint for Oregon this season. Let me just read you some of these scores.
Except for Idaho.
Well, Idaho out of the week one, yes. Jason Eck gave them all they could handle in week one. So out after the first
good on
two.
the results.
34-13, 31-10, 35-0, 38-9, 38-17, 39-18. Oregon's in the 30s, and their opponents are under 20. That's how this has played out every week except for, 3 for the Oregon Ducks this season.
Yeah, and, the team that was closest that I was watching early in the year, the matchup I was watching that I thought might be closest to Wisconsin in terms of, attempts at physicality was when Illinois went out there and tried to see what they were going to accomplish. A lot better passing game, too, for Illinois. I trust Luke Altmaier a lot more than I do Braden Locke.
And it did not look good.
It did not work out well for Illinois. I think that's the difference about this Oregon team than from past years is their ability to defend and to be in a defense that just shuts you down and can carry if that offense is having any kind of sputters whatsoever.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is brewed by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, and I have a feeling many Badgers fans may need a refresh at some point tonight, choose a beer as cold as the Rockies. Cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do. Crush a Coors Light. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Hunter Vaughn, Ashton Genty Stan, that he is, back in the Everlight Solar studio at ESPN Madison, will lead the crew in a round of good call, bad call. That is straight ahead as we count down to kickoff here on Regent Street at the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day tailgate. Number 1 is in town for the first time since 2010. Wisconsin and the number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks coming your way. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
We've let the Bears, that 85 team, the monsters of the Midway, cloud our version of what the Bears are historically as a franchise because of this lore and image around them. When we're talking about the worst franchises in all of sports, the Chicago Bears have got to be mentioned.
Unsportsmanlike. Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Black Friday is Cash Friday at Ho Chunk Game in Madison. On Friday, November 29th, starting at 5 p.m., 18 winners will each take home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500 in our Cash Friday promotion. And at 8 p.m., one winner will take home the $40,000 grand prize. Plus, November 29th is Ho Chunk Day, and we're celebrating by giving the first 500 guests visiting our Rewards Club booth $25 in rewards play. Cash Friday is a holiday tradition at
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, 'cause Truck Star Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truckstar Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truckstar is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truckstar Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
Saving lives, one mammogram at a time. That's what we do at Stoughton Health. All women 40 and older should schedule their annual mammogram. Stoughton Health uses 3D technology for better, earlier breast cancer detection. All mammogram appointments from October through November will receive a coupon for a discounted manicure at participating local salons. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan and Quartz. Appointments are just 2 to 3 weeks out. Call 608-873-2299. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Hey, this is John Audius, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball play-by-play broadcaster. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand, Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some hallelujahs to the big man in the sky, show up Sunday morning looking just like last night. Yeah, that's how I get by.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light at the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day tailgate on Regent Street. Jesse Nelson along with Adam Mertz as we count down to kickoff for the number one team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, coming to Camp Randall Stadium, taking on our Wisconsin Badgers. For the first time since 2010, Wisconsin hosts the number one team in the country. Before we get to Two Truths and a Lie, shout out to Dick. Dick in the YouTube comments on the ESPN Milwaukee live video stream. Nice to see Jesse making up for all the personal time that he takes.
Whoa!
Appreciate it, Dick.
Shot across the bow.
Nice to see. He's calling us the A team, so I'm giving him a nice.
That's good. Okay.
Plus,
Thank
nice
you.
to see the A team here for this pre-upset tailgate.
Thanks again. Diggs has some optimism. It sounds like
Well-
there, the pre-upset tailgate.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but thank you, Dick. Appreciate the compliments in the YouTube channel. You can stream us on video. Shout out again to everybody watching us on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels as we get set for Wisconsin and Oregon under the lights at Camp Randall Stadium. The Badgers, according to ESPN Bet, listed as 14-point underdogs for tonight's game against the third favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, behind Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty, the running back from Boise State, Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback of the Oregon Ducks. Time now to turn it over to Hunter Vaughn, who's running that video stream for us back in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison. Time to play one of our other favorite games as we count down to kickoff time for what is this game? This is Good Call and Bad Call. I almost called it Two Truths and a Lie. I wanted to play that again. That was fun with Uncle Jake. Let's play Good Call, Bad Call instead.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to start off with, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Syracuse Orange head coach, Fran Brown, said that he doesn't shower after they lose. Is he the most dedicated coach in the country?
I'm going to say his wife is the most dedicated wife coach in the country, coach wife in the country. That's pretty wild, though. That's, like for how long, Hunter? Was there a definition behind that?
I didn't remember seeing it. I think he lets it sit for like a day.
It's a day or two. I heard the commentary. Yeah, a day or two. Why would you do that to yourself? I'm going to say bad call. First of all, what is it about coaches named Fran that they're all a bunch of weirdos?
Nutjobs.
Fran McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Now this guy, losing sucks already. Why do you want to smell bad when you lose? Like, why would you put yourself through that? That's
like, all honesty, I feel like that hurts other people worse than you.
right. Like, you don't drag others down with you. Like, go down
Yeah.
in your own boat
Yeah.
and then process it however you need to, and then come back stronger. Like, come on, Fran.
It is dedication. I'll give him that, but I don't know.
Wouldn't you want to not shower after a win because you want to keep that on you?
Yeah,
You
like
want to wash away the suck.
sweet essence
Right.
of victory.
Right,
Yeah, I'm
right.
not showering till December.
Till we lose.
If
I'm not
Wisconsin
showering till
beats
we lose.
Oregon. Yeah. All right, what's next, Hunter?
The Heisman Trophy race is Travis Hunter's to lose. Good call, bad call?
Mercy?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Partially, we're going to talk about it both in terms of perception and reality. I think the fact that he was out there last year and had his name out at the start of this whole Neon Deion era out in Colorado and got a lot of name familiarity and the amount of snaps that he's playing both ways, it caught a lot of people's attention. So he has that familiarity across the country. And as a former Heisman voter, I will say that matters a lot when you don't maybe get to see guys actually play and you're looking at stat lines more. Name familiarity matters. The other thing is that it is really unbelievable what he's been able to do. It's not like Shohei Ohtani, two-way threat that he has been, but in the same vein that Travis Hunter has been able to be such a dominant force on both sides of the ball. So as much as I love your man, Ashton Jeanty, and I love Boise State, that's a hard mountain to climb.
Mertzy, let me ask you before I answer this question. What is the criteria for who you vote for to win the Heisman Trophy? Not you. Does the Heisman go to the most valuable player or the best player in college football?
It was left vague. There was a lot of room for you to be able to make that decision on your own about what you wanted to.
My answer to this
criteria.
Yeah, my answer to this question changes. If it's most valuable player, it's Travis Hunter. Because easily, Colorado is not where they are in the college football playoff conversation with Coach Prime without Travis Hunter playing on both sides of the ball as well as he does. But he is not the best player at either of his respective positions. The best player, I think, in college football is Ashton Jeanty at Boise State with the numbers he's putting up as the running back, or Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback of Oregon. I would take either of those two I'd be acceptable with, and I'd probably vote as a guy who loves Boise State football. I have an aunt who lives in Boise. I've loved the Broncos since before they won that Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma, and I had all this merch, and everyone's like, why do you have all this Boise State stuff? They only noticed after they won the Fiesta Bowl. I'm like, I'm not a bandwagon jumper. I actually like this team. I would probably vote for Dylan Gabriel at this point to win the Heisman Trophy.
Why don't you stop talking for a while?
I know, I'm sorry, Hunter. I know you're a big Ashton Jeanty guy. I can't believe I'm railing against Boise State. Again, this is a very interesting position for me to be in. But
Jesse, we're going to have to road trip. My godparents live there.
Oh, really?
They're my aunt
And we can go see Uncle Jake when we're on the way,
that's
too.
that's his sister. So it's perfect. We can tie it all together.
So it depends what your criteria is. So
Go ahead.
I think what's going to happen is voters, when we get to the end of the season, Oregon's likely going to be unbeaten. Dylan Gabriel's going to have some insane numbers as a quarterback, throwing for nearly 4,000 yards. He's going to lead the team in their first year in the Big Ten to a conference title, and I think he's going to get the votes to win the Heisman Trophy. So I'm going to ultimately say bad call on Travis Hunter, although what he is doing is incredibly impressive.
Yeah, I think Colorado would have to finish very strong here to match up with that. And Dylan Gabriel is a known commodity, obviously, from his previous stops, too. So that plays in his favor. I'm going to stick with Travis Hunter for now. Because I do think that Colorado is going to have a nice, strong finish to the season.
All right, Hunter, you got another one for us in good call or bad call?
I do. I was going to go more Badger-centric, but I like this Heisman conversation. So, good call, bad call. If another quarterback wins the Heisman, they need to rework the phrasing for the award in order to get more non-quarterbacks winning the trophy.
Well, I guess I'm the linguistics guy here, so I guess I'll weigh in on this first. I think good call. Again, I don't know what it currently is. Can we find what that is? Because that would be something that I would love to know how they frame how voters should determine who they're voting for to win the Heisman Trophy. But I would frame it as, would you say... Because I want to say most valuable. I think that would actually be the difference in a lot of cases. But then, just like in the NFL, most valuable player only is a quarterback award now. Good call. I would change it to, if it's not this way already, I would change it to best player in college football. And that could be an offensive lineman. That could be a safety. That could be a running back. Like, best player in college football is how I would frame the award.
And I would say good call also. I think I fought this when I was, the momentum and sort of like the judgment probably from other voters in terms of where you're placing these votes. The one vote that I had that I was very proud of that I wish I would have gone one step further was that I had Ndamukong Suh as my number 2 choice 1 year, and I should have put him number 1 because I thought he was that disruptive and that consequential for college football that year on a very good team. It wasn't just kind of a pick out of nowhere. But, the emphasis on the quarterback, and it's just such an easy position to pick. It's sort of a fallback, and it's kind of almost a lazy vote in some ways.
Hunter, since we got a little sidetracked with the Heisman conversation, there any other good call, bad call questions you want to float our way?
No, but I did look up the Heisman Trophy Trust mission statement. I don't know how I found it this quickly.
That sounds like some light reading you would enjoy on a Wednesday evening with a little glass of old-fashioned in your hand.
The nice thing is it's only like one sentence where it talks about what the Heisman is, and it says the Heisman Memorial Trophy, which is annually awarded to the outstanding college football player in the United States whose performance epitomizes great ability combined with diligence, perseverance, and hard work. So it's super vague.
Oh, my God. I fell asleep listening to that.
I know, but it's super vague, and I feel like this has just turned into a quarterback award, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, let's just call it best player in college football wins the award. Who's the best player in college football this year? Are you guys on board with that? Is that too simplistic to approach that way?
I feel like it'll still end up going to quarterbacks. I almost feel like they have to separate it at this point.
So have like a quarterback Heisman and then a everybody else Heisman and give away 2 a year?
Yeah, why not?
Actually, I'd watch more of the ceremony probably if they did that.
The quarterback and everyone else, the field.
Yeah.
It's frustrating when that happens because it's not the way it should be, and you're counting on people, and it's always been a writer's award. I'll be the first to say that. Maybe what you do is you think about changing the pool of people who are voting on this.
True.
And you throw in a little bit more coaches who understand some of these players and the impact that they have in terms of having a game plan around an entire guy like a Sue that I was mentioning before. Because there's so much more that goes into it. As important as the quarterback position is, that's boring to just pick the quarterback all the time.
That is good call or bad call on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, and producer Hunter Vaughn with you till 6:30 as we count down to kickoff for the number one team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, visiting the Wisconsin Badgers. If you haven't taken advantage of this yet, this is the best deal in sports. Our friends at Liberty Station running a Game Day shuttle program during home games this football season. For just $15, get a Coors Light and a round-trip ride to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline on Rimrock Road. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day continues with our Pepsi picks straight ahead. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz at the Regent Street Tailgate. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Pizza Hut's wings are the best thing to happen to pizza night since, well, pizza. Introducing Pizza Hut's new Big Boneless Wing Bundle. For only $15.99, enjoy 16 crispy boneless wings in 2 different flavors, 2 dipping sauces, and a double order of fries. The wings are sauced and tossed to perfection and available in 9 flavors like honey barbecue, garlic parmesan, and sweet chili. It's the perfect bundle for game days, girls' nights, family night, or any tailgate party. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Imagine a place where all of your fitness needs are under one roof. Sarah Tauscher here. The Prairie Athletic Club has everything you need, from group fitness, personal training, CrossFit, and so much more. Join now and you can save $30 per month for your first 6 months. And on top of that, enjoy 3 months of hot yoga for free. Kickstart your healthiest lifestyle all in one place at the Pack. Stop by today or visit prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Craft your Brewers mini plan for the 2025 season, featuring all new 6-packs and 12-packs. Get in on the action with great ticket rates, marquee matchups, and priority seating. Plus, you'll get a limited edition Brewers Crowler with each 12-pack or pair of 6-packs. Looking to customize your games to fit your schedule? Build your own ticket plan options are also available. Pick the plan for you at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
From L.A. to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. We start with the Washington Huskies getting a win on Friday night over UCLA. Washington now with that 31-19 win are 6-5 and bowl eligible on the year. 3 games in the Big Ten have gone final already. Number 2 Ohio State went to take on Northwestern at Wrigley Field, and Ohio State won 31-7. Then the number 4 team in the country, the Penn State Nittany Lions, are now 9-1 on the season with a 49-10 win over Purdue. Also going final in Champaign, Brett Bielema was fighting the Illini, winning 38-16 over Michigan State. 2 games currently going on in the Big Ten. Rutgers just scored a touchdown. Ethan Kaliak-Manis with the 12-yard touchdown pass to Ian Strong puts Rutgers up 6-3. Still waiting on the extra point there with 8:21 to go in the second quarter. They lead Maryland. And then a tight one in L.A. USC leads Nebraska 21-20 with 8:54 to go in the ball game. And then at 6:30, number 1 Oregon at Wisconsin.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN app, Wisconsin On Demand, and live video streaming on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Jesse Nelson along with Adam Mertz at the Regent Street Tailgate as we count down to Wisconsin hosting number 1 Oregon tonight under the lights at Camp Randall Stadium. Our friends at Celebrations Entertainment helping us out here at the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day Tailgate. Massive big screen TV, all kinds of fun things that they can do. And with Celebrations Entertainment, planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. Time now for our Pepsi Picks, with still a full college football slate ahead of us tonight. Still plenty of great games to choose from. Let's turn it over to producer Hunter Vaughn, leading us in tonight's Pepsi Picks.
We start in the SEC with one of Mertzie's favorite teams. Number 7 Tennessee is on the road at number 12 Georgia. The Bulldogs are 9-point home favorites in this one. I'm going to guess, Mertzie, you're going to take the Dogs here.
This might surprise you, not with the points.
Wow,
Not
you're Mr.
with the
Georgia.
points. I know.
Close ties, familial allegiance to
Absolutely.
the University of Georgia.
And, this is a must-win game for Georgia in terms of the college playoff picture. But and I think they will pull it out. I really do. But I think that they have been so ineffective offensively this year, and obviously that showed last week in that loss at Ole Miss. Carson Beck has had a hard time getting things rolling. He's just not seeing the field right, and there's been too much deficiency around him. They have Etienne out tonight. They're going to be going to Nate Frazier, the freshman running back, so one more hurdle for them against a really difficult Tennessee defense. I do think the Dogs win, but I don't think they're covering that 9.5.
My breakdown is going to be more simplistic than that. I'm taking Georgia because they haven't played at home in a month.
Okay.
So when they're at home for the first time in a month, those fans are going to be raucous. Tennessee's going into a hostile environment. Yep. Georgia's a more proven team than Tennessee.
28
so give me
straight
the Dogs.
there.
Yeah, give me Georgia to get a win at home in Athens. What do they call it? Between the hedges is what they do there?
Hedges.
So, yeah, big win for Georgia. I'll take the Dogs and the points if Mertz doesn't want to.
Now we head out west. Kansas and Lance Leipold's squad going to number 6 BYU. The Cougars, 2.5-point favorites in this one.
Wow. That's wild. You're talking about I would take that 9.5-point spread probably in this one. I know that Kansas has been playing better of late, but BYU just seems like a team that is going to win. They're going to figure out a way to win. So by a field goal, yes, Jake Retzloff and BYU.
So Kansas is 3-6, and many expected them to potentially compete for the Big 12 title this year after the year that Lance Leipold helped guide them on last season. But let me tell you about some of those 6 losses that Kansas has incurred this year. At Illinois, 23-17, one-score game. UNLV, 23-20, one-score game. West Virginia, 32-28, one-score game. Arizona State, 35-31, one-score game. At 16th-ranked Kansas State, their rival, just a few weeks ago, 29-27.
Probably their best effort of the year.
One-score game. Kansas has been a very unlucky squad. They've had different costly moments not go their way late in situations. They've had costly turnovers trying to go and win a game down the stretch of a game. I've seen more Kansas football than I may be proud of to admit this year, just by happenstance when I've turned them on. But also there have been a lot of really close, exciting games that they've been part of this year. This would feel like a game that Kansas could go and beat BYU. BYU's not that good. And if they're going to lose at home, late night game, Kansas, after BYU almost lost last week to Utah as well, I kind of like the Jayhawks to finally get over the hump and get a signature moment in this contest tonight against BYU. I might take Kansas straight up. I'm for sure taking them against the 2.5 points because they only play close games. It's going to be a 2-point or a 1-point game. That's what Kansas does. So no matter what, I'm going to take them against the points. I might consider taking them straight up.
Is BYU the best team in the Big 12?
I tell you what, I would love to see BYU Colorado for the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
Talk about two polar opposite teams in so many ways. BYU and Colorado would be one heck of a Big 12 championship game. Is BYU the best team in the Big 12? It should be Utah, but they lost their quarterback again
just
for the
hasn't
year.
happened.
And it just
2 straight years.
Yeah, it didn't come to fruition. No, I think Kansas State is the best team in the Big 12, even though Kansas State lost at BYU, but it was a very close game, and if they were to rematch at a neutral site, I would take Kansas State. So I think they're the best team in the Big 12. Hunter, you got another one?
I do. So the rest of the games in the college football world, they're good games tonight, but nothing really got me excited. So, because our coverage will start at 9 o'clock right here on ESPN Madison for Badgers volleyball at UCLA.
Love it.
I want the percentage that you're giving the Badgers to sweep UCLA in 3 sets tonight.
Well, as the pregame and postgame host of the Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball Radio Network, Hunter Bond's the executive producer, by the way. We're pretty tight on the volleyball team here. Volleyball has not lost a set since they got swept by Nebraska at home on November 1st. 12 consecutive sets won.
Man.
That includes back-to-back wins for the first time this season against top 25 teams, including the sweep at the Fieldhouse last week against number 3 Penn State. They also swept 23rd ranked USC on Thursday night. If they swept USC, they're still in LA. They did beach yoga yesterday. We learned from John Audius earlier today when he joined us on our early pregame show. I am going to take Wisconsin in a sweep 100% tonight. There is no doubt Wisconsin sweeps UCLA, so I can go to bed before 1 a.m. tonight.
Lucky by a billion.
That's right, Chris Orr.
Jesse's been following the Big Ten volleyball standings more thoroughly than I have. Can I get a hint on UCLA's record right now? Is that allowed?
Not great.
I believe they are 500, if not one game under 500 in conference play. And they did start, they were a top 25 team early in the year. They have faded since.
So I'm going to go the Bizarro World Price is Right on you and just do 99% because then I have a better chance.
I guess that's one approach that you can have to the game. Sure.
I do like that. No, I mean, that was an impressive win last weekend. And I watched a fair share of that Nebraska shellacking at the field house. And that was hard to watch. You kind of wondered, like, hey, where are they going right now? And they pulled it together. So very impressive. Hoping for that sweep tonight so you guys can get some sleep.
Can I add one more to our Pepsi picks?
Yeah.
The Muskego Warriors and the Bayport Pirates meeting on Friday at 4 p.m. at Camp Randall under the lights at Camp Randall Stadium in what might be a closer game than we're in store for tonight in the Division I football state championship for the WIAA. Adam Mertz. Who do you want?
What's the early line on that one, Jesse?
Well, I'm biased as a Muskego High School alum. I'm
Yes.
very excited for my squad to get back to the state championship game. I would put the Warriors as early 6.5-point favorites. I'd probably take them by about a score.
Okay.
They play close games, just the style that they play with the wing tee offense. Bayport can
Yeah.
put a lot of points on the board. They play more of a spread throw, like run the ball efficiently. 6.5.
An offense from the 21st century, basically.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes you go back to go forward, Hunter, and that's what exactly the Muskego Warriors have done now with their third championship berth since 2017. So
I'll just be the contrarian, then I'm going to take Bayport with the points.
Of course you would. That's rude.
I'm trying to set up some differential here between our picks.
Give me the Warriors big at Camp Randall on Friday evening with me cheering them on from the Everlight Solar Studio. You can hear, by the way, all 7 WIA State Football Championship games on Thursday and Friday on ESPN Madison and on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam as well. Those are our Pepsi picks here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Enjoy Pepsi, a proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers. Oh, would you look at this? Wisconsin football player Hunter Wohler, Muskego High School alum,
that?
2-time, should have been 3-time, if not for COVID, state champion Hunter Wohler. He gets game day ready with Pepsi, and so should you. Like all proud, smart, intelligent Muskego High School alums. Try Pepsi Zero Sugar, the perfect drink for your tailgate party and as a tasty mixer. Our final thoughts for the Wisconsin Badgers hosting the number 1 team in the country for the first time since 2010. And by the way, the Badgers won that game in 2010. You may recall Gilreath from the 3. We will talk about our final expectations for the game tonight at Camp Randall Stadium. Coming up next, Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
November savings are stirring at Metro Kia of Madison. The 2024 Kia Sportage is available with 0% APR financing for 48 months, $20.83 per thousand borrowed. You can also check out the 2024 Kia Sorento at 0% APR financing for 48 months, $20.83 cost per thousand. Browse their inventory at MetroKiaMadison.com. That's MetroKiaMadison.com, and hurry into Metro Kia Madison today before these November savings fall away.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about all the fantastic fall deals at Metcalf's Market. Fall weather is the perfect time for your favorite crock-pot recipes and meals. Visit Metcalf's Market for the best ingredients for roasts, soups, stews, and easy crock-pot meals, including an extensive collection of local and premium quality produce and meats. Stop by their locations at Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or in Wauwatosa today. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Looking to get away this winter? Well, now's your chance. Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Our friends at Coors Light are giving away a Florida experience this December, and you could win. This trip for two includes a travel and hotel voucher, club-level tickets to the Boca Bowl on Wednesday, December 18th, and exclusive access to events surrounding the Boca Bowl. All you have to do is order an ice-cold Coors Light and scan the QR code at any of the following locations: Pooley's, Tanner's, Draft House, and Paoli Pub. Coors Light. Enjoy responsibly.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez.
I'd love to be in a game like that. I'd love to coach a game like that.
Oh,
they may not see a pass in the second half.
Subscribe to the Great Dane Huddle podcast on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
David Gilreath from the three. 25-30, 35, explodes midfield. A chance to return the opening kickoff for six. He'll take it to the house.
Brent Musburger looking live the last time the Wisconsin Badgers hosted the number one team in the country. And as Matt LePay told us, it started with a bang. Can Wisconsin shock the world tonight and take down the number one ranked undefeated Oregon Ducks at Camp Randall Stadium? It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson along with Adam Mertz as our Regent Street tailgate begins to wind down a little bit. There's still plenty of fans that are here just for the party, and they are still rocking and rolling here until 6:30 tonight as we get set for kickoff of this game between Wisconsin and Oregon. Quick note, attention business owners and executives looking for a bank that's invested in your community. Look no further than Starion Bank, your full-service business bank supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of their 3 convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, or Monona today, or online at starionbank.com. And we greet you as we do every college game day from the Starion Bank broadcast booth here on stage at the Regent Street tailgate. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz. Mertzy, final thoughts on where these two programs stand, Wisconsin and Oregon, heading into tonight's contest.
Yeah, and just do a little bit of step back view on that of the success that Oregon's had and kind of the structure that they've built around that program is really impressive. I was trying to think back this week about who do I think is in better position, and there's almost not many programs at this point. It's not just this year. They've got like $23 million is the estimated NIL payroll this year for this team. They got 28 guys making $250,000 or more, which is wild to think about. But it's about the backing that they have. And obviously they've got a Phil Knight who's given, I saw, $1 billion throughout his life to the University of Oregon. It's hard to comprehend. Wisconsin, really, there's been a lot of chatter about how can they get organized? How can they get some momentum behind their NIL program? Because this is pay to play at this point. And I think that there's going to have to be a lot done inside the business community in this state to try to rally people around that. And can they buy in without seeing the success on the field is sort of the question that goes through my mind in entering a game like this. And what kind of impact does that have if you're able to somehow score a victory and a huge upset over Oregon tonight and take that into the offseason, into the boardrooms when you're making these pitches about the type of support you need to compete in college football these days?
It's a fascinating thought. I didn't really think that we would go there as we talk about minutes before kickoff, Wisconsin and Oregon. But it's a great it's a great thing to bring up because the big picture focus of these programs and what's to lie ahead, not just in this game tonight, but the future of where each's trajectory is sending them.
Yeah,
it's fascinating to think about because I think you make a great point, Mertzy, that there's going to need to be NIL buy-in from businesses around the state, and whether it's a big coalition or individual businesses that want to support the program without seeing the direct results immediately happening. You're going to need to fund it in order for it to happen, not let it happen and then circle back to funding it. That's a very interesting dynamic that I hadn't considered until you just mentioned it.
And there's a lot more that goes into it. As we've seen before, money isn't everything in terms of a program's success, but it's going to be one of those things that I think it's going to be table stakes for you to be competitive, is to have a pretty sufficient NIL fund and that corporate backing just around every aspect of your program. Thinking about going out, let's say the Badgers have to go out in 2 weeks and get someone out of the portal at a quarterback. You're talking, it's almost $2 million for an elite quarterback at this point. Not that they necessarily land that high, but that's the kind of money you're talking about these days.
And at least the way that it is right now, that's new money every year.
Right.
Because it's not like a contract where, we're going to bring someone in and that's a 4-year contract, a max guarantee to the quarterback.
Exactly.
This is new money every single year as you
Yes.
continue to evolve the program, which is a whole different animal than any other sport really is faced in any way.
Hard sell. It's a hard sell. And,
yes.
And especially in a time like this, and you can ask about priorities and where you want to stick money, but you have to decide as a university and as a fan base what you're willing to do for your team.
Meanwhile, on the field,
yes,
Wisconsin is playing Dylan Gabriel, the third favorite to win the Heisman Trophy this year, behind Ashton Genty and Travis Hunter of Colorado. Wisconsin hosts the number one team in the country for the first time since they upset Ohio State in 2010. Any optimism?
It's really low, to be honest about this. And I entered that Penn State game kind of on a high and thinking that this might happen. I did pick Penn State in that game just because this Badger program hasn't shown me that they can get over the hump against a really good team. I think that exists even more tonight of just where they're at in their season and their development as a program against an Oregon team that I think is just so balanced on both sides of the ball. But, hey, let's get out there and see what happens. Let's keep it close, and let's make some plays. Make some plays tonight against a team that is just loaded with athletes. Show that you belong on the field.
I think the key tonight is the number 0. 0 turnovers from Braden Locke.
Yeah.
He's had 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, because he took the Iowa game off.
Stick it again.
I feel like I did better the second time. He's had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. He heard all the criticism from how that Iowa game played out. He's heard all the criticism from the costly error against Penn State. Just play conservatively.
Yes.
Just play smart. Just check that film. And for the first time starting a game this year, don't throw an interception. And just keep the team in a position to succeed by not turning the football over. If the Badgers can do that, I'm confident this could be a one-score game late. I'm confident it could be a one-score game late if they don't turn the ball over. I'm just not confident they won't turn the ball over. I want to believe that Luke Fickell and Phil Longo can talk to Braden Locke over the last 2 weeks and say, hey, Braden, here's an idea. Don't throw an interception at a costly moment in the game. But I'm not confident from what I've seen from Braden Locke last year and this year that that's going to be the case tonight.
And nor should you be. And you look at his QB rating, I saw this stat that he is 22nd out of 23 in terms of quarterbacks who've had, I think it was 2 or more starts in Badger football over the last 33 years. He has not put it together out there on the field. You talk a lot about a guy who's intelligent, who understands the offense, but you're right, the decision-making capability in games, especially against zone defenses, it just doesn't seem like he's able to read guys, locks in on receivers a little bit too much, and is not making the plays that feel comfortable, trying to force things a lot. Can he play within himself tonight? It's a really good question.
Going to try for a big Badgers win at home tonight, and have you been waiting to buy your next home? If you have, stop waiting. Now is the time to get housed. For over 30 years, Bruner Realty has been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started today. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Stacy Bruner and the team that I trusted to buy our home a couple of years ago from Bruner Realty Inc. That'll do it for ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Let's see what happens. Under the lights, the number one team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, come to Camp Randall Stadium. Thanks to Jim Rutledge. Thanks to Adam Mertz. Thanks to producer Hunter Vaughn. Thanks to you for being with us on Wisconsin. Let's see how it goes. Wisconsin and Oregon coming up at Camp Randall.
In the next 30 seconds,